Hey there, my name is Ashley Benz. I am your Child Care Success Coach with Child Care Success Tools, and I would like to welcome you to part one of the series on enrollment. So I have been getting a lot of feedback from you all, and I really want to appreciate that because I'm now kind of really understanding as to what you are looking for, where you're stuck in your programs, and what you need help with. And so my purpose here is to be able and make sure that I'm providing you exactly what you need so that you can move your child care program forward and so that you can transform your child care center. So, like I said, I thought I was just basically going to just go ahead and just do an enrollment series. I think it's going to be about 9 to 10 videos where I'm going to actually break down the whole enrollment process, building your enrollment, all of that stuff. So today, the topic, which is going to be your very first layer of your enrollment process and building your enrollment and things like that, is to get your phones to ring. Now, that's the first thing that we obviously have to do before we can even go any further into building our enrollment, is we have to get people to call and get our phones to ring. So today I'm going to be sharing with you information on how to do that. Now I'm going to be looking down. I've got to have notes, you guys, because this stuff is really complex, and so there's a lot of layers to it. There's a lot to it, and so I'm going to be looking at my notes, so just don't mind me when I'm looking down. Okay, so number one, let's just jump right in. Number one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 6 things that you need to do to get your phones to ring. So 6 things that you need to do to get your phones to ring. Number one is you need to have a website. Now, I know that a lot of you have websites. I have been snooping a little bit around and looking at you guys' websites and just kind of seeing kind of where you're at and things like that. So here's what you're going to need with your website, okay? Number one, you're going to have to find out, what does the parent want? What does the parent want? Okay, so I want you to, if you already have a website up, if you don't have a website, then you need to get one started. Here is the key with this. This is how this works. You are not the expert in what parents want, okay? The parent is the expert. You are the service provider. So you provide the service, okay? And the parent is the expert. So to figure out what the parent wants, you're going to have to ask questions. You're going to have to get a way to figure out what they want. And I will be going over this. Now, I will tell you all that this video is just going to touch just the top layer of how to get your phones to ring. The enrollment series is going to touch just the top layer of how to build your enrollment. Those that are part of my premium Toolbox Access premium membership program, that's where we will be getting into, and we'll be peeling off all the layers of how to build your enrollment. And so at the end of the video, I will share with you, if you're interested in how to allow me to show you, all the underneath layers of everything, all the nuts and bolts of how this works. But so website, what does the parent want? Remembering you're not the expert, and you're going to have to talk with parents. You're going to have to find out exactly what they're wanting. I will give you one thing one way to do this is to offer something free on the website, to where they have to opt in to provide their email address and their phone number and name, and then you're going to give away something free. And then with that, you're going to ask a question. You're going to ask them, what is it that they're looking for in childcare? Is it safety? Is it curriculum? Is it hours? What is it they're looking for? And then over time, you're going to be able to collect this information to be able to pull a report and figure out exactly, specifically, in your area what parents are looking for. Your message, okay? So on your website, you want to have what your message is. And your message should be your USP. Now, in marketing world, they're going to call it USP, which is called your unique selling proposition. I'm going to call it your message, okay? Because everybody has a message that is different from somebody else's. And this message is going to go beyond the curriculum. So what I'm seeing a lot of is I'm seeing a lot of curriculum, information and things like that. I will tell you that you want to go beyond the curriculum aspect. Like, so what I'm saying is that you want to talk more about the curriculum. So for an example, if I am just talking about that we have a learning curriculum here, we do ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, the kids go outside, we X, Y, and Z. Well, so are the other programs in your area. They're talking about the same thing that you're talking about. How can you go beyond that? How can you stand out? How can your curriculum stand out beyond what everybody else is talking about? And so going beyond the curriculum, there's a lot of ways you can do that. One of the ways that you can do that is results, okay? Because people like to see results. And so you can do this by getting your current families involved and explaining how their child has benefited from whatever it is that you're doing, from your whatever curriculum that you have in your program. But you need to find a way to make whatever it is that you're talking about, your message needs to be clear, and it needs to be why you do what you do and what results that a mom can have, or a parent or a child can receive from enrolling their child into your program, okay? So have a message, go beyond the curriculum. We're all talking about, all child care programs are going to bring up curriculum because that's what we do. But how can you go beyond that with your message? Not somebody else's message, but with your message. So the next thing that you want to have on your website that I'm not seeing is your story. So what brought you to opening up your own child care program? There has to be something that brought you to that. And whatever that is, you need to share that with the potential families. So example, I am a mom. And so when I do go and look at you guys' websites, I'm looking at it from a parent's point of view because I'm a mom. I have a 1-year-old daughter. And one of the things that I was lacking was to be able to connect with who you are as a child care director, owner, or child care provider. So having a story on your website, you can do this in the About Us. On my website, I had a section about the owner. And in that, I basically wrote out my story. And my story, briefly, was that I had previously worked in child care programs. And there was just a lot of things that I saw was just totally inappropriate in how the child care programs were ran. And so my story was that, and I said this within my, on the page, was that, I can't save every child in the world from being at a child care program that does not properly care for the child, but I can make sure that your child, whatever child walks through my doors, are going to be well taken care of. And that really, really made a statement with families. I actually had a mom. She had called me and she was like, I just got done reading your story. We've been looking for a child care center. I came across your website. I read your story. And she was like, it literally brought tears to my eyes. How can I get an appointment with you to come in and look at your facility? So everybody has a story. Whatever your story, whatever you felt like has brought you to your place, your platform, and owning your program, you need to have that on your website somewhere, okay? So how to get your phones to ring, number one is your website. And I just went into some things that you can kind of think about putting on your website, some things I've seen that's not on the websites that I've been looking at. And so that would be number one. All right, number two, social media, okay? And I want to talk about a specific social media platform that you need to be on, okay? And this platform is Facebook. Facebook has 1.23 billion users on Facebook, okay? I know that a lot of you are on Instagram and some of the other ones out there, Twitter and things like that. And just think about it, okay? As a mom, first of all, I want to distinguish between Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the other ones. Facebook is more of a family-oriented platform. And what I mean by that is that Instagram, which is actually owned by Facebook, Instagram was mainly geared for celebrities. So, you see a lot of celebrities use it. Then now now people are starting to use more of it for their businesses and things like that. Facebook, and same thing with Twitter. So, that's more of a celebrity type of platform. Facebook is where people go to connect with their families, to connect with, their aunt that lives way over on the other side of the country. So this is where moms are at. And this is where, because moms are going to be probably the number one people you're going to be, that's your target market audience that you want to be targeting your marketing efforts to. And so moms are on Facebook. They're on Instagram and they're on Twitter, but moms are on Facebook. This is where you need to be advertising at. And you need to do this with Facebook ads. So if you are not familiar with Facebook ads, Facebook basically offers, a program where you can advertise. And you do have to have a Facebook business page. So if you have a website, you obviously need to also have a Facebook business page, and with that you can advertise. One thing I love about Facebook advertising is that you set your budget. You do have to have at least a $5 minimum daily budget, but that is really, really cheap. And the results that you get from that is, to me, way more outstanding than having to go out here and hire somebody, that's going to charge you an arm and a leg to, advertise and things like that. So you need to definitely be advertising on Facebook, okay? When you do this, your phones will ring, okay? Number 3 is that you want to have parent testimonies and online reviews. So there are ways that you can get your current families to provide a parent testimony and an online review. And those that are a part of my premium membership group will be learning how to do this. We'll be learning how to go about getting parent testimonies and your online reviews, because this is where everybody is at, you guys. And so this is where you really have to be cultivating your online presence. You want to make sure that you have great online reviews, and you just really, really want to be making sure that you are managing that properly. But the third way to get your phone to ring is to get your parent testimonies, and you need to put that on your website. You need to put that on your Facebook page, or you need to get parents to give reviews on your Facebook page, because people like to purchase things when they see other people receive great results. And so, you know, it's almost like having the parent testimonies is almost like a virtual word of mouth, if that makes any sense. So, which is the old way of how we used to market our childcare program, was just simply through, word of mouth. And so having those parent testimonies and having those online is almost like your new way of doing word of mouth. So you definitely want to do that. You want to be able to get those parent testimonies in. Okay, number 4 is you want to have a video. So you want to have a video that's going to show people what your program is like. Okay, and let me tell you this: you do not have to go out and spend $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 on getting some big company to come into your program and shoot a commercial. Okay, you don't have to do that. In fact, I would not even spend my money on doing that, period. Okay, here's what I would do, and this is what I did. I simply got a camera. You probably already have a camera, that's decent. I videotaped. I actually planned out everything. I went into my program. I took my camera. I showed shots of, the kids in the garden. I showed shots of our healthy meals. I showed shots of the teachers working with the kids. Whatever I wanted to show. You put a little music behind it. You go in and you, have maybe somebody else to film you, interviewing you. You can piece this together any way that you want to. Then you're going to go and you're going to use Windows Movie Live Maker or Windows Movie Maker, and you're going to edit it. You're going to add some music behind it. Okay. You're going to pop this on your website. You're going to pop this on your Facebook page. You're going to pop this on your YouTube channel, which we're going to get into in a minute. Okay. And there's your commercial right there. A lot of things, and I really want to bring this out because, a lot of things you don't have to pay out loads of money anymore getting stuff done, because there's loads of things online. As long as you have, the minimum requirements, just a camera. Some of the phone cameras out there now are doing excellent jobs of capturing video. And so I'm just not going to be one to tell you to go out and spend $3,000 to $4,000 on something that you can do yourself. Okay. Now, not everybody is tech savvy, and that's okay. And if you're not tech savvy, find somebody that is. There are loads of people out there, you guys, that do this kind of stuff for way, way lesser price than going out and paying some huge company. A lot of things is right under your nose. It is. It's right there for you to be able to transform your program. Okay. Number 5. Now, we just talked about doing a video. So number 5 is YouTube. You want to have a YouTube channel. Okay. Let me tell you why you want to have a YouTube channel. Because who owns YouTube? Google. Okay. What is the number 1 search engine on the internet? Google. Okay. When people are Googling, because that's going to be the first thing that they go to when they're looking for a child care center. They're going to Google in child care center, whatever city that they're in. Okay. And what's going to come up, obviously, is going to be different child care center websites. And then on the right side of the column, there's going to be a list with links, hyperlinks for them to click and things like that. Okay. Now, the other place that people go to look up information is YouTube. Okay. And since Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is pretty much, owned by Google, then you got to have a YouTube channel. it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You know, you have to be on the platform of the #1 search engine on the web, okay? So you want to have a YouTube channel. Now, you may ask me, well, what do I put on my YouTube channel? I mean, you know, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't do that. You don't have to be a YouTuber. But what you want to do, okay? Because everything right now is all virtual. People live on the web. I mean, how many times do you check your phone? How many times when you go at home, you know, how many times do you maybe get on YouTube and watch different videos? And I mean, like our family, you know, we actually cut out our cable. And so a lot of the programs I watch is on YouTube. I watch YouTubers and, you know, things like that, vloggers and things like that. And so this is where it's at, you guys, okay? We have to move away from what we were doing and move on to what we need to do to get to where we want to go. You know, times are changing, things are changing, and things just don't work like they used to anymore. And so you always have to be evolving yourself into what is a new thing out there that I need to be doing in my program, to be marketing and advertising it. And online is where it's at, okay? Online is where you need to be at to market and advertise your program. So what you want to do is, you know, your website is going to do a lot of telling. Your Facebook page is going to do a lot of telling, okay? Your YouTube channel is going to do a lot of showing. You want to virtually bring people into your program, okay? You want to virtually bring people into your program using YouTube videos. Now, you definitely want to make sure that you get parents' permission to do this. And this is what I did. But I would, you know, get with my staff, and I would, you know, I would kind of make sure that I was aware of the lesson plans and things like that, that they were doing. And if they were doing something that was, I don't know, building a volcano, or, you know, something that was really, I guess not out of the ordinary, but something that a lot of other childcare programs are probably not showing on their website, I would make sure that I set time aside that day to go in and do a little filming of the volcano that they were doing, or the gardening. Or, you know, I did a lot of things where the children were like at the table and they were like writing their name, or the teacher may be working with the child on patterns. And so, you know, I would get a shot of that. And actually how I would do it is because you kind of want to make sure it's a quiet environment. You want to, you know, watch your background and stuff like that. But I actually did it when a lot of the older kids were outside, so that it wasn't noisy. And then I would have the teacher and the child to stay in, and we would do a little small recording. But the purpose is that once a parent, okay, is able to come into your child care program virtually, and they like what they see, they're going to call you up, okay? Your phone is going to ring, and they're going to want to set up an appointment with you to come in and view and meet you and view your facility physically, okay? So YouTube allows you to bring people into your program, which is going to spike their interest level high enough to be able to call you and get that appointment set up to come in and do the tour, okay? And then the sixth thing is Community Connect. So you still obviously, I mean, we are in a marketing, you know, world and things like that, but you still obviously want to be connecting in your community. And one thing that I would highly suggest you to do, and this is very, very powerful if you're not already doing it, is to connect with your local libraries. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because this is where a lot of stay-at-home moms stay at. And believe it or not, a stay-at-home mom, usually they need breaks, okay? And this is where, you know, you can spread the word and things like that. Some stay-at-home moms, you know, they have part-time jobs where they may work 2 days out of the week. or whatever the case is there. And so Community Connect, getting with your local libraries, moms groups. So you need to be a part of any moms groups on Facebook in your area. You need to be joining these groups and presenting yourself as the authority in the childcare industry. And like I said, there's ways of going about doing all of these things. The one thing that I will tell you is that I'm not really a big fan of flyers. I just feel like that they're a little bit, kind of not up to today's standards. And I just think that people don't look at flyers a lot. I will say that if you are going to do flyers, that you want to put those in places where people like to read. So libraries, cafes, if there's any like internet cafes or anything like that in your local area. Any places that you feel like moms are going to be hanging out at and things like that, I think is okay. But I would not suggest doing flyers, posting them up on light poles and things like that. I wouldn't really suggest that. I just think that, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people kind of get a little bit of a bad kind of vibe when they see that. And I know me as a parent, I don't know, I feel like if the person has got up a flyer, and I'm speaking from a parent now. So let's say I'm a parent and I am a mom, and I drive past and it says it's advertising. I just feel like that, the person behind where the advertisement or whatnot is not putting in the professional efforts of advertising their program. And I'm looking for someone that's going to be professional and that's kind of up with the times, because I feel like that someone that is up with the times is always researching and trying to make sure that they are in the know as to what the new the new ways of teaching children and things like that. So, and that's just my personal opinion, and that's just me speaking as a mom. So I'm taking off my childcare business coaching hat for a second and being a mom. But this is how I thought as well about flyers when I ran my program. So I started off doing flyers when I first got started, and then I really just didn't really get a lot of feedback from them, and so I quit doing flyers. But that's optional. If flyers work for you, and I will say this, that things work in different locations in the area. So if flyers work for you, by all means, use the flyers. But you definitely want to be making sure that you are online. So now that we've got all this stuff online, so you've got your website, you've got video testimonies, you got your YouTube channel, you've got your Facebook page, you are monitoring your online reviews, you've got your video. Now this is what really, really makes all this come together, is you make sure that you are interlinking these sites with each other. Okay? Because you want to make sure that if somebody comes to your website, because think about it now, people are everywhere, okay? Some people are website people. Everybody's on Facebook. But the problem is that not a lot of childcare programs are on YouTube. So a lot of parents don't go on YouTube, looking for childcare centers, okay? And so, but what happens is, and this is why I say to YouTube, to get your YouTube channel, what happens is that when they go to your website and you've got a link to your YouTube channel, and then it's going to bring them over, that's almost like you taking them into your program virtually, okay, which is what you want, okay? Or if they're on Facebook and you have your website linked to your website linked to your website, then they're going to go there. So what you want at the end of the day is you want that parent to go to everything that you have. You want them to find your online reviews. You want them to come to your YouTube. You want them to come to your Facebook page. You want them to come to your website. so that when they're done looking at all that information that you are content, this is content that you have up, they're going to call you, okay? And why are they going to call you? Because no other program in your area is doing this stuff, guys. They're not doing this, okay? They're not doing this. They're too busy spinning their wheels trying to figure out what to do, and they're not thinking this way, because the childcare industry is still stuck back in the 1990s. And so, you know, what's going to set you apart is bringing that whole mind frame out of that. Okay, we got to get out of the 1990s and get into where we are today, which is all virtual. Okay, and so this is how you're going to get your phone to ring. Now, once again, I just want to really go over and reiterate the fact that the YouTube videos that I'm going to be putting up, you know, I am going to be sharing with you all the information that I possibly can share with you in the small bits and piece amounts of videos that I am going to be putting up, okay? But here's the thing. With each one of these, so I gave you 6 things on how to get your phones to ring, okay? These are tools that you can use in your program. Here is where people usually get stuck, is the how. So I'm telling you what to do, okay? But the how to go about doing it is where that takes a lot of time to be able to, because to implement all these things, I mean, we're talking about, you know, videos, redoing a website if we got to redo a website, getting a Facebook page up if we don't have that, going through online reviews, getting parents involved, making a video. Okay, all these things that we're talking about here. To be able to do these things, okay, and to be able to take your program to the next level, and these are for those that's interested. So I'm not one to be a push. I'm not a salesman. That's not what I do. I like to serve people. I like to help people. I like to help people get beyond where they're at right now. That's what my purpose is, okay? And I'm using this platform to be able to do that. So I'm not here to sell you anything, because, you know, this is your program, you know, and you can run it the way that you want to obviously run your program. But obviously you're here for a reason, because, you know, you're feeling stuck in your enrollment and how to build your enrollment. So if you are interested and you want me to show you the how, because I've given you the what to do, but if you're interested and you want me to show you the how, and you want me to help you peel off these layers and go into each one of these 6 things that I just talked about on how to get your phones to ring, then you need to be a part and access my Toolbox of Success, which is basically being a part of my premium membership program, where you will be a part of a group of where I will go in and show you the how. I will give you all these step-by-steps. I will show you. I will be there with you every step of the way. I will be there when things, you know, because we can plan things, and sometimes things don't go as planned, just because of when you're in business, that's just how it works. I can be there for your program if maybe, let's say, we do try to you know, get something up with your website, or do a parent testimony, and maybe it's not going. I'm going to be there when you need help with pulling out the kinks, okay? So if you're interested in the how to do this, okay, and the how, because these things right here, you guys, is going to this is what's going to transform, okay? I can tell you what to do, okay? But if you don't know how to go about doing that, then you're still just, you're gonna have knowledge on what to do, and you may go and research and Google things and things like that on how to go about doing this stuff. But let me tell you this: you're going to spend so many hours and time. You're going to be making mistakes, because that's what we do. You know, when we're trying to learn something and you're trying to teach yourself, you're going to hit those learning curves. It's going to just cost you lots of time, you know, money, energy, things like that. That's just unnecessary, okay? It's just totally unnecessary when you have access to a toolbox of success through my premium membership program. So if you're interested, and if it's something that you would like for me to help you do on the how, then I just simply want you to click the link below. You're going to see there's going to be a link to the website, and then below that is going to be a link to access the Toolbox of Success Premium Membership Program, so you can learn more information about that, and we can go from there with it, okay? Also, if you like this video, if you felt like this video was valuable, if you really feel like you maybe got some aha moments out of this video, maybe some things you have not thought about, or maybe you have some things in place, but you didn't, you really didn't think about it in that way, if you can just make sure to communicate with me that you liked it. 2 ways I need for you to communicate with me is to push the like button below. And number 2 is to comment below. So leave me your feedback. If you have questions about what I just talked about, make sure that you make a comment below. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel and you are wanting more information like this, because I'm going to be doing a whole series on how to build your enrollment, then I want you to hit that subscribe button, okay? Now, in the next part of the Building Enrollment series is going to be, okay, now, we just talked about how to get your phones to ring. Now, what plan do you have in place when your phones ring to get people in the door, okay? So we're going to talk about what to do when your phones ring in the next series. There's a lot of things that you can do to get them in the door, because it's one thing to get the phones to ring, and then we got to be ready when they ring, to draw them in to our programs, okay? So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope that you are enjoying your day. It is like almost 80 degrees here today in Kentucky, so it's really beautiful, and the weather is starting to change and spring is starting to come into play, which is, let me tell you this, the perfect time to really be getting in on this stuff, because we've got in the childcare industry, you got summer programs coming up and things like that. So anyway, make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, make sure that you subscribe. Also, visit my website down below, and if you're interested in the how to do these things and you would like for me to show you, make sure that you visit the link below also, that will go over, or that will lead you to the Access Toolbox of Success membership program. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me, and hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.